The Raptors won last night, 115-102 against the Orlando Magic. What's up, guys? You're watching Raptors Today. I'm Savanna Hamilton, alongside the experts, as per usual, Paul Jones and Sherman Hamilton. Now, guys, we got to talk about Pascal Siakam because I liked what I saw, his aggressive nature on offense last night. Take a look at his stats the past couple of games, though. Throw a board up here. Versus Milwaukee, 11 points. Sacramento, 32. And last night, we, of course, 30 points. Now, I just want to point something out real quick with the Milwaukee one. He had 9 rebounds, so that was still almost a double-double that game. But Jonesy, first question goes to you. What do you like the most about Pascal's recent offensive performance?
Well, it's somebody's tapped him on the shoulder and said, Pascal, we know you're trying to make three-point shooting, playmaking, all those things a part of your game. Don't forget what your game is. Add those things in after. And we see him now, the last line on that graphic, 4 points in the paint against Milwaukee. And then in the other 2 games, 20-plus points in the paint. So he's taking the ball to the goal. He's looking to be more aggressive and shooting closer to the basket. He took 1 3-point shot in the game against Sacramento and 2 late in the game against Orlando. So it's like, I'm going to use that as part of my game, but I'm not going to make it the major focus. And then once he's aggressive, he's getting to the free throw line. He has the attention of the defense. And if the team is going to shoot threes, let them do it off Pascal's aggressiveness and his paint touch. And I just think that he's done a better job of saying, you know what, I got to cut the fat. I got to get rid of stuff that I want to do that's not necessarily helping me. Let's get back to the basics. Get the ball inside, get into the paint, make my teammates better, and get to the free throw line.
It's growing that confidence inside to out, right? It's expanding that way.
Yeah.
So, Sherm, how has Siakam's decision-making been off ball and also on defense since his return from his injury?
Well, I think it's been better, and let's not discount the fact that the matchups have been better for Pascal as well. But defensively, this is an area where Pascal needs to grow in as well. We talk about his offense a lot because he's relied on to score the ball, but he's got to become a better defender. And what we're seeing is a more engaged Pascal in terms of on-ball defense. And he's still missing some rotational assignments. But as long as those mistakes come fewer and far between, then you see the growth and development. But he's helping himself defensively. He's getting back to getting that ball off the glass, and he's running, and he's using his pace and his speed to beat other bigs down the floor. And ultimately, his playmaking is going to become a part of his game more so when he's scoring the basketball, when he's got the defense reacting to him. That's when it opens up that passing game to find teammates. If you're not scoring, we'll defend you and make sure that you can't do anything, and your teammates aren't going to do anything either. So his determination to get to the basket has been crucial, and that's really condensed opponents' defense, and that's really created, look, you're going to make a choice here. Either I'm going to score the ball or you're going to send another defender, and that's when I'll find a teammate. And Pascal is making some very good decisions finishing at the basket.
Finding the open teammate on the double. Love that. We got to listen to Pascal and Nurse their thoughts after the game last night.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll probably work their way back in, Josh. But it's a conscious effort on his part and our part to get him going to the basket and get him a little bit more composed at the basket too. I think you can see him that the times he gets in there, takes his time, gets to 2 feet, gets to that right hand jump hook or something. Those are going in. It's the twisting, turning, fall away jumpers. Sometimes you're thinking that's a tough shot, and that's going to have, and a lot of those don't go in. But I thought he did a great job of reading the gaps when they were there and playing quicker. When he saw an opening, he took it. And then even a couple of times I thought he got off it super early, fired it. He saw the help was there right away. He moved quick and he saw the help there quick, and he didn't try to force it through the help. He just got off it, and I think that's even more key. But I'm okay right now. We got plenty of guys bombing threes up there right now. So I mean, I'm good with him trying to work himself through the paint and getting to the line a little bit more too. It's another, something like 20 free throws in the last 2 nights. That's what we're looking for, getting him up there 7, 8, 9 free throws a night.
Yeah, I think, I feel good. I think my body feels good. I think that's the most important thing. Again, I'm not looking at the points. I'm not looking at anything. I just look at my overall involvement in the game, making sure that I find ways to stay involved and And again, once you have that overall energy and you're able to be out there, have fun, enjoy the game of basketball, everything else comes with it, and again, if it's scoring 10 points and having 20 rebounds, that's what I want to do, or if it's scoring 30 and having, like whatever the case might be, I just think that it all comes from just feeling good and having a good spirit out there.
Now, OG and Norm have missed the past 2 games, and I want to break down exactly in which areas they have been missed. And quick update, OG is out for tomorrow night's game, and Norm is still questionable. Jonesy, tell me where OG is missed the most right now.
Well, he's missed on both ends of the floor, Savanna. I mean, let's go to the offensive end first. He's always been a reliable standstill shooter. Catch and shoot guy, especially from 3. And his numbers have been off the charts recently in those situations where they move the ball. He's the open guy, the beneficiary of the ball movement at the end of it. His catch and shoot 3 has been really, really good. And we're starting to see him expand his wings. Nick Nurse talked about that at the beginning of the year, and this comment resonates with me. Get him out of the corner, not just standing in the corner. We see OG handling the ball. We see him involved in screen and roll situations. He's aggressive in getting to the basket, using his strength, using his ball handling ability. So he's missed everywhere on offense. And then on the defensive end, that's where I think he makes a huge impact. He's a guy, and we've said this before, Sherman and I talked about it on one of our broadcasts. Don't be surprised to hear his name whispered for all defensive team. He's a guy that can guard all 5 positions. When the Raptors decide to go with a small ball, as people call it, I like to call it skill ball, because it doesn't matter how big you are. If you don't have the skill, you're not on the floor. But OG plays one of those bigger roles, one of those big man roles. He and Pascal, he can guard every position. And the other thing is he's got this quiet tenacity on defense, guarding the ball, being in the passing lane, deflections, moving his feet to get an arm in the passing lane and disrupt an entry pass on a denial. So he's missed at both ends of the court, Savanna, and it's nice that the Raptors are trying to piece it together without him. But, man, they will definitely welcome it when he's ready to go.
Absolutely. And, we always see OG guarding usually the opponent's team, their best player. So that's definitely something that's missed on that end defensively. Now, Sherm, what is missed about Norm for the Raptors?
Well, a big part of their game, Savanna, in general, is transition. They like to get up and down, and especially when they turn teams over, they get out in transition and create those number games that they can win. And I think Norm's done a great job when he's on the floor of really getting ahead, and they pitch the ball ahead to him, and he's attacking. He's kind of seeing what the defense has set, and if there's nothing there, he's condensed the defense. You get to run your offense with more freedom closer to the basket. And I think Norm's ability to do that consistently and put pressure on opposing teams in the open floor is something that they dearly miss. The other thing Norm does is he's another one of those guys who can just go get something on his own. When you're talking about a driving kick offense, a guy like Norm can catch it on the wing, he can knock down the shot, or he can put it on the floor and get into the paint and look for the bucket himself or find a teammate. So his balance in terms of his offensive effectiveness overall is something that they really miss. And especially those times where they have those droughts offensively, a guy like Norm can knock down a shot or make a play for them. And on defense, he's not letting up either. He's still giving you an honest day's effort on that side of the ball as well. So they're missing Norm on so many levels, just kind of like they're missing OG as well.
And, taking their place for now has been the Yuta and Bembry show, really. Quick, Jonesy, what has Yuta been – how much of a spark has he been for this team?
He's been terrific. And I look at the ease, the energy, the effort, the enthusiasm with which he plays. He's saying to Nick Nurse, you can put me in. He's low maintenance on offense. I mean, he'll take stuff that comes to him. He'll drive the ball into the paint, kick it out. He's becoming a very good standstill, catch and shoot guy on the offensive end. And he's not thirsty. He knows what he's out there for. He's out there for his defense. And you look at the way he plays defense, his activity in the passing lane, deflecting stuff, making blocks. So I just love the way the kid's playing, and he's becoming a very reliable part for Nick Nurse coming off the bench.
And Sherm, real quick, what about Bembry? How has he been on both sides of the floor?
Well, I think he's getting a bit more comfortable with his opportunities. He's got a longer leash now, so You can see him just kind of mellow out and make the plays that are presented to him and not try to force the issue. And I think he's a thinking player. He's a guy who's going to play behind the defense. He's going to move without the basketball. He's going to make good decisions. I mean, this is not a new guy to the league. He's been around a little bit, so he understands how to operate in a team setting. And I just think that having that depth and that quality depth, if you need it, is always a positive thing for Nick Nurse. And DeAndre has done a good job in terms of filling that role when he's gotten his opportunities. And that's what you want, your bench players to be ready when their name is called.
Yuta and Bembry both spoke to the media last night. Take a listen to what they had to say.
I never had opportunities like this, so I'm definitely happy that I'm getting opportunity right now. But like I said before, I can't take this for granted. A lot of guys can play on this team, so if I stop working hard, some guys gonna take my spot. So I just gotta keep working hard to keep improving myself.
I'm an all-around player. I've always been an all-around player. Hard-nosed on defense. I enjoy playing defense. I enjoy making the right play offensively. And I can play and guard multiple positions. And I know Nick loves guys that can run around, scram, and do different things on defensively, but even offensively, if you're able to do that. And I think I'm gaining some trust, obviously, through the coaches now. I've been gaining trust throughout the players. I mean, I knew a bunch of the players before I got here. So it was definitely good to go out there today and just give some more confidence to the coaches.
We're going to go to a previous conversation we had today on RTX now. This is RTX, and today I'm joined by a familiar face, Akil Augustine, host of Court Surfing and Raptors Rundown. And where do you not see this guy, Akil? It's nice to have you back on.
Blessings. Thank you. Good to be back.
And new face to RTX is Sandie Appiah, co-host of Dishes and Dimes podcast. Sandie, such a pleasure to have you on.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Straight to it, Pascal Siakam has been showing out the past couple of days, especially last night. He was playing really aggressively against the Magic. When he's playing like his spicy P, all NBA self, is he the key to success for this team, Akil?
Well, it depends on what you define as success. I think this roster still has room to grow. Of course, there's money in the budget for, another guy. But I think the key here is, we were all upset when Pascal got sat. But the difference in his comments was, he feels healthy. And you look at the difference. He's in the key. He's in the paint. He's taking the bumps, right? He's getting the free throws, 20 in the last 2 games. And so those are big numbers. And I think a lot of that has to do with his health. So he's going to be the key that gets this version of the roster as far as it can go. But the key for him is going to be, now that he's gotten through the mental slump, is make sure that body's right. Because we see the difference between a healthy and happy Siakam getting to the free throw line and the other version, which is kind of more dependent on threes.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. We don't know what the ceiling necessarily for this team is. I feel like it's been a really off year in terms of being in the bubble, not having fans, and having to deal with the pandemic. So I do feel like this season's a little bit of a weird season to begin with. So I don't even feel like we're fully seeing this team, particularly the core, be the best that they can be, even when everybody's on. But that being said, Pascal, 30 points, he's in the paint. This is the Pascal that we remember. This is the Pascal that was an all-star last season. And if he's on, this team could make it second round, maybe even Eastern Conference Finals, knock on wood. I do feel like the potential is there. Hopefully he's able to stay healthy, and we see them continue to
love in the paint. Pascal, 24 of his all 24 points of his field goals came from inside the paint, which, I mean, that's how you build confidence, inside out.
It's the only place I shoot from.
It's the only place you shoot. Okay, okay. I believe it. Having runs against you, yeah, I believe it. I'll paint. All right, so Yuta Watanabe, we have to talk about him because he's been internet sensation for the Raptors. What has impressed you the most about his game? And I got some options for you guys, and Sandie, I'm going to start with you. Option 1A, A, offensive contributions, B, defensive presence, C, hustle and energy, and D, the love from the fans and media. Which one do you guys choose, Sandie? choose? Sandie?
I think the hustle and the energy is what I'm most excited about because it reminds me of Pascal, early Pascal, like just trying to find his spots, making sure that he comes with energy. He's guarding the 3 through 5. He's staying aggressive off ball. This is early Pascal, and I feel like if Utah looks towards or observes Pascal's early game, he could be the next player that the Raptors develop, and I'm just really excited to see where it goes from here.
With you and say it's got to be the hustle and energy, but I'll add the caveat: it's like the hustle and energy with the composure, because I've seen a lot of guys come in the NBA and they're hustle and energy, but this guy knows once he gets the ball in his hands off of the floor or makes that trap defense or that block play, he gets to the right spot. I will say honorable mention though to his connection to the fans, because as diverse a city we are, there's always a pocket of the city or a segment of the population that's cheering for someone from their corner. So shouts out to all our Japanese kinfolk who get to stunt and shine while Utah's out there killing it.
I think we're all three hustle energy. We got to talk about the other two-way player now, Jalen Harris, and we should be seeing him in the G League next week when that kicks off. So, Akil, what do you expect Harris to do with the 905? And we know the 905's track record for developing talent.
Well, the main thing for Jalen, I think, is going to be improving his ball handling, is being a guard at next level of the NBA. But what he did show at Nevada, being the lead scorer his last season there, was he can score. He can get buckets, especially in the pick and roll. So he's going to be a feature player, someone that they can really play through. But for him at that guard spot, the model's there, the template's there. They know what they've done with guys like they didn't even get a chance to play Terrence, but Fred VanVleet in the model. So I think they know what it is, but it's a lot of ball handling, pick and roll stuff, and the same stuff you see Fred and Kyle doing, because that's what the Raptors do.
So I expect Jalen to come in as the 905's starting point guard, to get his full reps in that position as the main facilitator. And I think it's going to be similar to Jordan Lloyd's spot on the team a couple of years ago. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. Hopefully he'll be able to get a few reps with the full team. But we'll have to wait and see, because the guard position is pretty stacked on the Raptors. So I don't know if he's going to get any play unless, God forbid, somebody goes down. So I think we're mostly just going to see him in the 905 getting his reps in.
Sandie, Akil, so nice having you guys both on. I've got to go back right now to Paul Jones and Sherman Hamilton. You can watch the Raptors tomorrow, Tuesday. That's the February 2nd. They face the Magic. Oh yeah, again. Watch it on Sportsnet and listen to it on Sportsnet 590. Pre-game shows on NBA TV Canada. Now the Raptors, they did a great job defending the Magic at this past game. We talk about, and the Magic, they're a top rebounding team in the league. And Nurse did talk about executing certain game plans, and I feel like we did see that last night. But Sherm, I want you to break down the Raptors side of what we can expect from defense, and Jonesy, hop on right after and say what can we expect from Orlando after.
Well, I think the Raptors defense on Vucevic was excellent. He's a prime player for them, and he's a guy who creates a lot of problems from the three-point line, as well as inside, as well as on the glass. And I thought their attention to detail against him was excellent, just making him feel bodies and presence and activity around him. He's a guy that plays a comfortable game, and if you're into him physically and disrupting him, you can really disrupt his flow, and they did a great job of that. The other thing was, when Orlando did get into the paint, they saw a ton of white jerseys right in front of them, bodying them up, active hands. I thought their weak side communication was excellent. Their rim protection was solid. So I expect a lot of the same things, coupled with the fact that they jumped on them from the start. They didn't wait for Orlando to get lathered up and then try to chase them down. They got into them throwing the first punch, and they've got to do that again defensively and couple that with that offensive production that they had as well.
And to all Sherm's points, you just have to look at what Orlando struggled with. I thought Aaron Baines really executed the game plan defensively and the whole team well on Vucevic. But if you're Orlando and you're Steve Clifford, you're saying, hey, Vuce, that's not Marc Gasol out there. That's not the former defensive player of the year that gave you nightmares. He did a better job early in the second half of playing on the catch. He's not a guy that's going to use quickness from in a face-up game to beat you, but I thought he took a couple of opportunities early to go quickly, and that's what he's going to have to do. The Raptors have him figured out. They crowd him. They say, okay, you're not quick. Go by us if you can on the drive. And we're going to be able to, as Sherm said, to help out. Vooch has got to make quicker decisions. I think Orlando's got to try to get him the ball on the move. And then he needs help from the other guys. I mean, they have really struggled, Savannah, since Markelle Fultz went down. And people might say, are you kidding me? Well, he's played well for Steve Clifford, and he has done a really nice job. And they've only won 2 games since he left the lineup. Cole Anthony's good, but he's a young player, and he doesn't understand or know the league quite as well as even a guy like Fultz, who only has a couple years in front of him. And then there are some other guys. In a game like this, your best players have to be your best players. On the offensive end, Fred VanVleet did a terrific job of Evan Fournier, but Fournier's got to do a better job of moving. Orlando's got to get him open. He's got to, try to get into the paint. When Fred crowds him, again, go by him, kick the ball, keep moving, get it back. So Orlando's offense it's got to be more movement oriented with people and with the ball. And then on the defensive end, they have to keep Toronto out of the paint. They allowed 50 points in the paint. A lot of that from Pascal Siakam. If I'm Orlando, I'm trying to do work early, make the catches a little further out, square guys up on defense, make them pick it up, not have to get into rotation. So Orlando has its work cut out for it, and we still don't know if Aaron Gordon's going to play. Man, that ankle did not look good leaving the arena the other night.
And Jonesy, really quick, staying with you. You mentioned it, points in the paint. We won it with 50 points last night. They had 32. What's the key to success for this aggressive play?
For Toronto?
For Toronto, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it all stems from what Pascal's mindset, what he's decided to do. And even their three-pointers, I believe they made 12 three-pointers. A lot of them came from good paint touches, good punches into gaps, and then swinging the ball, the Nick Nurse drive, kick, swing. I think they were all over it. But again, if I put my Orlando hat on, you can't allow that to happen. And you've got to try to curtail Pascal early and keep him out of the paint.
I also just want to quickly chime in that Aaron Baines had his season high of rebounds last night with 16 rebounds against the Magic. So that's pretty notable to me, at least. So Sherm, now, give me your thoughts on Terrence Davis and how he's been performing as a starter.
Well, I thought he did a good job in this game. Against Sacramento, I thought he struggled, got in a bit of foul trouble. And Terrence has a tendency to float a bit sometimes. He'll make a couple good plays, then he'll negate them with some decisions that don't help his situation on both sides of the basketball. I thought against Orlando, he did a very good job keeping his head, making solid decisions defensively, not getting into foul trouble, and offensively taking advantage of opportunities, not trying to force it. He's making better decisions. And I think when guys have the opportunity to stay on the floor and know that they're going to play if they do the right things, it kind of takes that urgency or that I've got to get something done to earn my minutes. He just has time to figure out and let the game come to him and just settle down. And that's something that he has to consistently do, because at the end of the day, he can help this team on so many levels if he keeps his head in the game and if he continues to make solid plays for his teams.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to, seeing more from Utah. Utah gets me excited. I'm a fan. Admittedly, I'm a fan of his. We had to go. Thank you guys so much. This has been another episode of Raptors Today. Catch you guys later. Thank you for watching our latest episode. Make sure you subscribe to all the Toronto Raptors social channels so that you don't miss a thing.